Squarespace recently rolled out a new design feature called Layers, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use the Layers design feature to make designing your website easier. If you haven't already grabbed a copy of my Squarespace website checklist, I'll leave a link in the description box below. You can grab a copy for free and follow along with all the steps as you build out your website. I'm going to show you today how to use the layers function in Squarespace. So I've set up this section on my website with some Christmas images. It's December here, so I wanted to have some fun with this. And I've layered them up so you can see that some of the images are sat behind some of the other images and they're layered on top of one another, and this will really demonstrate how we can use the layers function. I've pulled these images from Styled Stock Society. They have some really gorgeous stock images and videos that you can use across your website and your social media profiles, so I'll leave a link to them in the description box below if you wanted to check them out. But let's get into how to use the layers function in Squarespace. So you can see here in the top left-hand corner, we have a button, and if we hover over it, it says layers. So that's what we need to click on. And then we have a pop-up that comes up. And what this pop-up will contain is every single block that you have used within that particular section in Squarespace. So this section is made up purely of images. I've got 6 images in total. And if I hover over one of the images just with my cursor, you can see that a blue box has appeared here. And that's the image that corresponds to. So if I move this out of the way and hover over the top one, you can see that it corresponds to this image just over here. And if I scroll down, you can see the blue box just moves around, so I know exactly which image my mouse is corresponding to, which is great. Now, before, if I wanted to say bring an image to the foreground, what I'd have to do is click on the image and then click on this button to move it forward. And you can see now it's been brought forward in front of this big image here, but I want it in front of this one as well. So I'd have to click forward again. And you kind of had to play with it, you know, back and forth until you got the look that you wanted. But now with the layers, if you click on layers and find the image that you need, so it's the one with all the baubles, this one, all you need to do is find the image and just drag it up and down, and it will bring it forward or behind. And it's just so easy to rearrange your images that way. If I wanted to make sure that this big one with the Christmas tree was at the fore, I could just bring that to the top. And now I know it's in front of absolutely everything else. So it just makes reorganizing your images, or whichever blocks you're using. Say you had a text block right on top that you wanted to really stand out, then you could drag it up to the top and you'd know that it's sat on top of everything else and there's nothing going to be hiding it. Now, the other feature that's come along with layers, which is one that I'm particularly excited about, is we now have the ability to hide certain blocks as well on desktop view and on mobile view separately. So if I show you, if for example, I wanted to hide this image on desktop view. So I'm currently on this image here on the right with the big Christmas tree, and I don't want to see it on desktop view. What I can do is hover over it again in my layers panel and click on the eye that's next to it. And you can see the eye now has a line going through it and the image has disappeared, which is brilliant. And if I show you a mobile view, you'll see that actually the image has only disappeared for desktop view, but it is still visible on mobile view. So let's go over to mobile view and we'll scroll down and you can see my image with the Christmas tree is still very much there on mobile view. But if we go back to desktop, it's disappeared. And that's because I clicked on the eye while I was on desktop view. Now, actually what I want to bring it back because I think it looks really pretty. But on mobile view, now that I've just had a look, I think this is just far too busy of a section. I think there's too many images here and I want to make this a lot simpler. So I want to hide all of the images except for this big one with the Christmas tree. So what I'm going to do is bring up my layers panel again, and I'm going to hover over the first one, which is this one of the hands wrapping the gift, and I want to hide that one. and I want to hide this one with the baubles and the one with the drinks, and I'm going to hide them all except for this main one, which I can now resize so you can see the full extent of the image, and that now looks beautiful, and I can resize the section on mobile view. So now on mobile view I have a very simple section with just one image for my Christmas section, but if I hop back over to desktop view, all my images are visible, and that's because I hid the images while I was in mobile view. So the hiding applies to the view that you're in. So that's it. That's how you can use the layers function and the hiding function in Squarespace. If you found this video useful, please remember to give it a like, and also please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any other Squarespace tutorials. I'll leave a link to my Squarespace website checklist in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all the best with your website.